Hello again, so we are going to continue with the next character, which is Hermes. So, he's a very tall and lean character that's very fast, but he doesn't have a lot of strength. So we're going to play some contrast with Hercules here. We're going to make him skinny. We're going to make the structure of his head the exact opposite of the head of Hercules. So let's begin. I'm going to take the ellipse tool, zoom in a bit, and I'm going to start by creating the head. The head will be a circle, so I'm holding shift so I get a perfect circle, and then a rectangle. So I'm going to stand here, hold Alt, click and drag, and somewhere around here will do. So now I'm going to select the bottom part and round it up, but not all the way up. I'm going to leave it fairly straight below. And now I'm going to reorganize these shapes. So I think this skull structure is good for this character. So I'm going to select these two shapes and I'm going to maybe change the color so we have a different skin tone for him. Maybe this one will do. Okay, now I'm going to create the neck. I'm going to stand here, hold Alt, and give him a skinny neck. So I'm going to take the rectangle tool and create the shape for the chest. So I'm going to hold Alt here, click and drag and create a shape that looks like this. So I don't want a super wide chest, but something like this could work. So I'm going to select the bottom part of this and round it up. Okay, so now I'm going to stand here, hold Alt and create a shape for the waist and the hips. Again, I'm going to merge these two body masses into one, and I'm going to take the bottom and round it up. So we have this kind of silhouette going on for now, and I'm going to continue by creating the legs. So I want him to have very long legs. So I think best thing to do right now is to move this part upwards, so he has a short torso compared to the long legs. So I'm going to take the rectangle tool, start here, align to this side of this shape and create the first leg, which will be around here. And I'm going to take this shape, hold Alt and Shift to move it and create a copy. So these are the proportions so far. I can change them up as well, so maybe I can drag this up a bit, resize the legs, maybe I want to shrink the head a bit, so this way I'm exaggerating the fact that he's very long and very lean. I think I'm even going to resize this shape so it looks more like this, and I'm going to drag this a bit up. I'm going to again resize the legs a little bit. And there we go. I have pushed this exaggeration far enough, so I'm going to continue. So I'm creating a rectangle around here for the feet. I want him to have very large feet. So I'm going to, with the white arrow, take this anchor point and round it. Now I'm going to duplicate this shape by dragging it while using Alt and Shift, release to create the copy, and then transform and reflect. And now I'm going to snap it into place. Okay, there we go. Now for the arms, I'm going to again create a rectangle around here. Very long and lean rectangle, so I'm using a very narrow shape. I'm going to give this corner a round end. Then I'm going to copy to the other side and reflect. And for the hands, again I'm going to create a circle. So I'm going to stand here on the center of this shape, hold Alt and Shift, click and drag, and create this perfect circle. I may even play a bit with the placing of this circle, so I may want to snap it here So it looks like the hands are in a resting position instead of being turned into a fist, like in the case of this character, which is more aggressive and stronger. Okay, so we're going to create some details for example, the hat that he is going to be wearing, because Hermes in the Greek mythology is often depicted as using a hat with wings. So I want to bring this into my interpretation. I'm going to take the ellipse tool and changing the color so I don't get confused. I'm going to stand here on the center, hold Alt and Shift, and create a big circle around here, a bit bigger than his head. Now I'm going to take the rectangle tool and I'm going to draw a rectangle that goes across the circle around here. Now I'm going to select both shapes and click on minus front. So we have the first shape of his hat. Now I'm going to take the rectangle tool, stand here in the middle of this shape, hold Alt, click and drag to create this shape. Okay, now for the wings. I'm going to create the wings for this character by taking the ellipse tool, creating an ellipse like this, then taking the rectangle tool. I'm going to create a rectangle that goes across the middle of this shape. Select both shapes, go to minus front, and I'm going to do this again, but this time with this part. So this is a quarter of an ellipse that I'm going to take, select the black arrow, stand here, hold Shift and rotate 45 degrees. I'm going to change the color for this and place it around here. Then I'm going to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Okay, so now I'm going to select everything on pairs, for example, these little wings, and I'm going to group them by going to Object, Group, or hitting Ctrl or Command G on the keyboard. And I'm going to do the same with the arms and the legs. And now I'm going to select everything and go here to Horizontal Align Center. So there we go, this is perfectly aligned. Now I can take care of the details for this character. So I think that as far as silhouette goes, it's going to remain fairly similar. I'm going to add some detail, for example, some pieces of armor. I'm going to add a belt here that I'm going to create right now as a rectangle. I'm going to change the color of this. And now I'm going to fast forward a bit and I'm going to take care of the finer details of this character. But as you can see, the silhouette is already done, which is the most important part of the creation of this character design. Okay, so there we go. We have created our third character, which is Hermes. So I have followed my original silhouette. I have added a bit of detail. For example, this piece of armor that he has on the waist that modifies a little bit the silhouette. But as you can see, if I test it right here on the right, it's still very readable. It's still very solid and very clear.